And
Welcome, everyone.
going live on the room. Give me a second. I don't have permission to live stream.
Maybe you're in the wrong group.
No, I'm not. Oh, well, I'm recording, so that's going to have to be it because it's not letting me. So we'll roll. I'll post it in there. All right.
All right. Well, welcome, everyone, to this week's Weekend Win Call. We are so glad that you are here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Miss Monica. I've been in this community going on 8 years. I've lost 167 pounds, gone from a size 22 to a size 4, and been able to keep that off. All because of this amazing program and this community and you guys being here. And, you know, this topic today we've called the Anti-Diet Diet Club, because who likes a diet? Who likes the idea of being on a diet? Like, nobody. And one of the things that I had to do, that you're going to have to do, that these ladies and the partners that we have sharing for you tonight have done, is really embraced that it is not a diet, it's a lifestyle. Now, 300-pound me heard that all the time, and it didn't mean a thing. I'll be very honest, I didn't understand it. I love the word trite, because that's how it felt, like, whatever, it's a lifestyle. What does that mean? So tonight we're going to give you the best that we have in our understanding of what that actually means. Because there are so many programs out there, you guys, this one included. And if you just focus on the weight loss and get to your goal and then say, yay, back to whiskey and waffles, which is my favorite, you'll gain that 167 pounds again, or whatever you're endeavoring to do, slowly but surely. The statistic is within 2 years, 86% of people gain the weight back. So look, we are so glad that you're here, because this is one of the things that's going to help you create new monster railroad tracks in your brain of information, like new highways that you think on instead of the old mindset. Okay, so this Weekend Win Call is designed to help you win the weekend. We believe that no person, place, or thing should throw you off your track, because you are very powerful, you are amazing, you're super smart. But sometimes you need some tips and like some things to ninja slay the weekend, because it's crazy out there. It's like a jungle. Want pizza? Want some cookies? Here's the Oreos. Oh, Granny. It's a lot. I'm going to share my screen. That was a long intro, right? That was like 4 minutes. Sorry, guys. I get on a rant. I'm super passionate about this stuff. So here you are. Welcome to the Anti-Diet Diet Club. Oh, what is this? Oh, no. That's so interesting. Okay, I'm going to fix this right now in the background. There are some backup. If I had my slides, I'd be on point, but let me just say it this way. What you eat, I'm sorry, how much you weigh in your current state of health is not just because of what you eat. There are other things that are affecting what you eat, including, and most importantly, believe it or not, your sleep, your movement, and your mindfulness about your decisions. So Jennifer Segarini, I would love for you to share first tonight, because she has an incredible transformation. I personally don't meet too many people who have lost the same amount of weight as I have, and Jen has lost more in half the time. So she's amazing. And today I really wanted her to share about movement, because I talk to people all the time, and whether they're 5 or 10 pounds overweight, they have a hard time getting in some sort of movement throughout the day. And I remember when I was 300 pounds, not only was it hard, I hated to sweat, I hated to work out. Plus, my stomach got in the way of my knees, so there was not much I could do safely. Exercise was a chore, a chore. So there's other people out there like me that experience this and are feeling this way. And again, whether it's 5 pounds or over 100 pounds. And what does that mean? So Jennifer Segreen, can you please take yourself off mute? I would love to hear how much weight you lost and how much time, because I see you moving all the time. Super inspiring.
Thank you.
And you've got family, you're a busy mama, you've got a husband, you've got all the things everybody else has. Still, you've had some amazing accomplishments. So take that exercise piece away. How do we not hate it?
Okay. Well, the thing is, I don't know. I'm just gonna be totally honest and raw about stuff. So when I started program, I was 340 pounds. It took me 9 months to lose 100 pounds. And I think because it was such a chore and I didn't feel like doing it. And I know that I struggle. I struggle with anxiety. I struggle with depression and all those stuffs. And there are days where I would not get out of bed and I didn't want to do anything. And I have 2 young boys looking at me and watching me, and I couldn't even get them to school on time. So, and then here I am trying to lose weight and be active, and I'm sitting there and I'm crying to myself and I'm looking around and my house is a mess and the kitchen is always messy. And I've got my mom and my brother to take care of. So this is just a background story. So I'm letting you guys know. So these are the struggles that I struggle with. But for me, I think that all of us, we have turned to food because it's a coping mechanism, because we've experienced some kind of trauma and have some kind of depression in our lives. And so, yes, it's difficult for us to put ourselves first and be motivated to do what is right for us, because let's face it, we'd rather watch TV and do the easier thing, the more simple aspects of stuff where I don't want to get up and do stuff. But then I was looking around and I was blaming the people in my life rather than actually doing it. So there are days I'm like, well, if you want to be thinner, if you want to have a clean kitchen, no one's going to give you those things but you, right? So there's days I'm like, gosh, I want a clean house. I want this. Like, I wish my kids were this way and this and that. And I'm like looking at myself and I'm like, I know for my kids, even when they're acting crazy, and I can sit there and I sit on my butt and say, don't do that, don't do that. And I can say it till I'm raw in my face, but it's till I actually get up and get into action and actually physically separate them to say, stop fighting, will they actually do it? And I learned the more I got up to do stuff, then things would happen the way that I wanted them to do. So I know for me that when I'm depressed, I need music and I need to get in nature, right? There's something about being outside and just having this connection. I'm a spiritual person, so I do believe in God, and I do believe that God speaks with us through nature, and just being in the elements of that really helps us. So I know if you're not religious or anything, still just being outside and being in tuned with the earth, is definitely going to help you with that. So like today I'm listening to Mel Robbins, The 5-Second Rule. Highly recommend this book already. She's talking about her life, and her life was falling apart, and she didn't want to do stuff. And so what she does, she counts back from 5, like a rocket ship. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then forces herself to do stuff. I want you guys to start doing that, because there's days you're not going to go walking, or you're not going to want to go walking, or do things that it's going to help you get out of that victim mindset, because nobody is going to make you thinner. Nobody's going to do that thing or make you that choice of eating the better food or going out and exercising but you, right? But if you give yourself that out, like oh, I'm not going to do it today. I'm not going to do it today. Right. Because you're like, oh, I don't want to. Do you ever ask yourself, do you want to do something? No, we don't. But if you start like, that inside of us, like we all know that we have to eat better and do all this stuff. We already know the things that we should be doing, but it's applying it that's difficult, right? So we know we need to trust ourselves and have that confidence that the more we keep promises to ourselves, it's going to build our confidence. You're going to see improvement. You're going to start getting the things you want. Like right now, my kitchen's clean and I feel good. Yes, I just did it about 10 minutes ago, but the fact that, like I gave myself a clean kitchen and I feel good about that. And that makes momentum, right? So I know that just forcing myself to do stuff is going to give me the things I want. It's going to give you the things that you want. So when there's those days that you're like, oh, I don't want it, start counting back from 5. And then just make yourself get up, get into some kind of movement. And that it just could be, even if you're watching TV, I want you to get lost in that. Just stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. And you're going to realize it's a workout just doing that. So if you can do that for 10 minutes, good. If you want to stop after 10 minutes, fine. And then do something else today. Like today, I'll show you my ring for the day, Apple Watch. I don't know if you can see, I've done 30 minutes of weights. I didn't really want to do it, but what I did to trick myself is I was watching a guy on TikTok singing, right? I was just watching him and I'm listening to him sing and I'm getting lost in it. And I'm lifting the weights the whole time. And so I didn't realize the lapse of time. And then before I knew it, 30 minutes was done. So if you can do anything like that to kind of just trick yourself, even if you're watching TV, just get on the aerobic bike and just pedal while you're watching, or doing the sitting up and sitting down, standing up, sitting down. Just that movement, you're making those little investments in yourself and you're giving yourself the things that nobody else can give you. Nobody can give you the skinnier body or the motivation to do stuff. We could sit there and point, well, my life's not great because this, that, and this, that. No, whatever you can do to take steps, you are in control, right? There's outside circumstances that happen to us all, and we have to face that, whether it's somebody getting cancer or this or that. It's horrible, I know, but it affects us, right? In that moment, be like, what can I control? I can go outside. I can go walking for 5 minutes. Yeah, I hate it. But then once I get out there and I'm walking, I start feeling better. And before I know it, like I had to push myself for weeks and weeks, but now I enjoy it. And now I'm like, I got to go walking because I know the chaos that's in my head and all that stress that's there, it gets alleviated by me walking. So I know at first it may suck, but just try doing it. And what is this saying, Monica, where intention flows, I can't remember it.
Where intention goes, energy flows.
Exactly that. So we have it inside of us that we want it. The fact that you guys are on call right now just shows how badass you are. Okay, so I just want to commend you guys for doing that. Okay, so we're going to take that energy, right, that you're on here, we're making the investment in ourselves, and just do something more. So like, let's say the toilet is dirty right now and you don't want a dirty toilet, go scrub it real quick. Just do that. And the fact that you've accomplished that little thing, you're going to want to start, it's going to snowball into other things. Maybe I'll swipe out the skink or something like that. It's going to snowball. The same with our working out. So I know I've talked a little bit longer than I'm supposed to. Monica, I'm going to give it right back to you. But I just wanted to, I have so much, because this is my topic. I'm like, if you struggle, call me. We'll work out together. Okay. So anyways.
No, thank you so much from that. I actually got a lot from that. What I heard was, obviously it's not easy. So you use a strategy to help you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jen, get up, go. What I also heard is as you got up and got out more often, you realize that nature and the sunshine actually feel really good for you. And this is a way for you to alleviate stress. So the fact that it is an exercise is actually the byproduct of what you're really trying to do, is just soothe yourself in a healthy way as opposed to eating. And the byproduct of that is I see you have like these really cool muscles. Yeah. And like I said, you've managed to lose all of this weight. And as you move forward and get to the finish line of your weight loss goal, now you will use exercise as a de-stressor, not as a way to fight calories or, you know, the way that we're currently using it. You actually enjoy it. You walk. Okay. Now, some of us will roller skate, some of us will hula hoop, some of us will do gymnastics, some of us will do yoga. Point being, you also are going to have to take time to explore what it is you actually like to do. Because when I was 300 pounds, I didn't know that I like to run. I couldn't. When I was 300 pounds, I did not know that I do a lot of crazy things. How that? But I had to try them one by one. So it's so crazy, you guys. I swear to you, I'm just going to show you just for my own esteem. I have slides like totally done for you. Like, look, there's Jen's picture. I had like a little exercise thing. It's so cute. This is Mel's picture. She's going to speak next. And I don't know why it's not syncing. So I love you so much. I'll put the slides in our group that we keep this stuff if you want to take a look at them. So next I wanted to have Melody share with you because Mel has had a great amount of weight loss. She'll share with you. Also managed to maintain it for a really long time, above the 2-year average, which is what we deem successful, by the way. If you are keeping your weight off, we consider you are having success. Mel's been able to keep that off. One of the contributing factors to her keeping her weight off was sleep. And I know that because she's one of my besties and we talk all the time and we work through that together. But I want her to share with you how she is implementing sleep, what that means to her. And I'm just going to give you a fun fact and a pro tip. Inga, did you know that sleep is 50% of what's happening in your weight loss? Yeah. So you guys, you could be eating spinach and doing the workouts and then you sleep 4 hours. And I'm sorry, it's not as effective as if you had slept 7 or 8. Go ahead and take it away, Coach Mel.
All right, thank you. So yes, sleep. Okay, let me just show you a little picture. I'll tell you a little bit about me. This is old Melody. This is little UPS Melody in her uniform. She's like, looks like a busted can of biscuits because the uniform's super tight. And this was, everybody has a wake up call picture, right? This was mine. That is when I looked and I said, I'm gonna have to go up a size in uniform. I'm gonna grow into that one too, unless I take my weight seriously. So I was a chronic 30-year dieter, yo-yo dieter, summer body, winter coat is all I knew. That was it. I knew that I would gain weight in the winter time, starting with Halloween, because when Halloween came, Reese's peanut butter cups became my part-time job. I love those little devils and I would eat them till I was sick. I would hide the wrappers because I would be so ashamed of how many I ate. So when I started this program on October 1st of 2014, almost my anniversary, I lost 35 pounds in 3 months, which is why I have a post that says, you want to lose 20 to 25 pounds by Thanksgiving, let's go now, because this is where you got to start. Okay, so I'm a UPS driver. I also work inside, so I work what they call preload. So my times I go to work are between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. Monday through Friday. So imagine trying to have dinner with your family. I'm going to bed at like 8:30. I'm getting up at like 1. You know, depending on if I have to be to work at 2, we're talking 12:30. And I do my best to get to sleep on time but it's super hard for me to get into bed before 8 o'clock. So it's really one of those things that I definitely work on. So being on the 5 and 1, here's what I noticed. You're eating every 2.5 to 3 hours. So I would stretch it to 3 hours, and I would always have this little bit of a gap because I wasn't getting that much sleep. So I'd come home from work, and I figured this out because I get into my life book and my habits of health. This is where I found my answers. So I noticed a pattern that I had. I'd get home like between 12 and 1, and between 1 and 3, man, if I was by myself, my husband wasn't home, and there was some tortillas. I love doing things like, let's put some tortillas and some butter and some sugar and some cinnamon and roll that up and eat that. And I would be like, let's have another one. And my husband would start pulling up, and I'd be like, hide the evidence, hide the evidence. Don't let anybody know that you just ate 2 tortillas. And I found out that I had this cycle, and I was like, why can't I break this cycle? Why does it always hit me here? Why is it such a test? So again, in these books, I started figuring out, like, I started talking through what was going on. And I'm like, it's that gap. It's that gap that's too big. It's more than 3 hours. And it's a struggle bus daily for me. And I started thinking, all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. You're not hungry. You're tired. If you're tired, it's so easy for the wheels to come off of the bus and to just dive into that tortillas, to if there's cookies or anything, the pull is strong, super strong. And I do try to get, I can't get to bed at 6 o'clock because my family doesn't eat dinner till late. Dinner's my last meal of the day. So I still go to bed on a full stomach. And I know some people will say that it's worked for me. It's worked for me. So, and I called nutrition support, and it's fine to eat that lean and green before you go to bed. So you can do that if you have something like that. So I said, you're not hungry. You need a nap. So I put it into my schedule that I would nap from like 1 to 2 or 1 to 2:30, depending on what I needed. And I started putting in that nap. And then I could wake up, I could have a fueling, and then 3 hours later, I would have my lean and green. So here's what I'm saying. When you're super tired, like Monica was saying, like you're gonna tend to overeat. And if you're not getting sleep, your body doesn't have time to burn all those calories and everything. And here's the thing. Here's the real thing that solidified it for me. I started weighing myself before I took my nap and when I got up. And what happened? I would lose like a pound. I would lose a pound because my body needed time to actually process things and shut down, because your body does a lot of work when it sleeps. So listen, all I'm saying to you is sometimes you're thirsty, sometimes you're sleepy, sometimes you're bored, but when you get those triggers that you feel like you have no control, examine what's going on in your surroundings and see if you are short on something. Are you short on water? Are you short on sleep? Do you need to go take a walk like Jen does because you're bored or whatever? You need to get out. Go do that instead of going to eat. And if you can create like at least a 90-second space between trigger and action, Dr. A calls it stop, challenge, and choose, you have a serious chance of winning. So in that 90 seconds, that's where I started realizing all of those things. So when we say this is a lifestyle, that means get into your life book. That means open up your Dr. A's Habits of Health. Your answers are in here. It didn't tell me that I needed a 3-hour nap, but when you dive into the personal growth of your own personal story, you come up with your answers, and they're right because they're your answers and it's your life.
Thank you, Coach Mel B, for that information. Super critical, guys. So what I heard from that was also evaluating what was missing, what was needed, or like what was contributing to stagnation, irritability, a halt in her weight loss journey. She was having these moments because she was tired, right? So Mel mentioned getting into your life book, into your Habits of Health book. And she also mentioned that, you know, what you do for you has to be right for you. And I'm also going to add to that, that the information that you get from those books is different per person, because when I got into those sections of the life book and read about sleep, what stuck out to me was the hormones. And I remembered, I'm like, oh, it's leptin. My leptin is off. So when leptin is off, my brain goes all wiry. And then all of a sudden, I don't care what is happening in my world. I just want a big pizza. So you know how I save myself? I first make sure that that stuff is not in my home. Because if something happens and I go off the rails like that, because guess what? 8 years later, it still happens. I get triggered. If it's in my house, it's not safe. That thing will be gone faster than I can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It is done. So don't have it in your home. Do what works for you. But yeah, lack of sleep will cause cravings. Lack of sleep will cause inflammation, which is why when Mel takes a nap, her body decompresses a full pound throughout the day. That's real. Also, sleep helps with you managing your stress, right? Do you guys know that you could be holding on to 8 to 10 pounds of simply you're stressed out and you're not addressing it? And it's manifesting into extra cortisone, hormones being thrown off. And I share that with you because as Mel and I were working together, that was her crux. She was stuck at like 136 and wanted to be 129. And when she started taking the nap, the weight started to come off. So she was just stressed. She didn't change her eating. She was just, her body was stressed and it was adding up to about 6 pounds of inflammation, overload, and her body was holding on to weight because hormones could not process correctly. But you guys, we're not brilliant. We got this from the life book. So, and also we've been here 8 years. So we've totally cheated, right? Like we've been here a long time. And I just share that to say like this, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. Yay! I'm skinny, you're skinny, we're all skinny. Yay! Like that does not happen overnight at all. All right. So I promised to get you out of here by 5:30 as close as I can. I was going to go last in regards to mindset. I think you heard a lot here that it's all about choices. I think you heard a lot that it's all your responsibility, taking an analysis. I love that Jennifer mentioned Mel Robbins, because that is going into like podcast books, into self-development. I also used to think books that said The Happiness Project, how to be happy every day. I thought that that was dumb, but now I know that that's essential. So again, The Happiness Project may not be your book, but there is a book out there that's for you. I love you, Jocelyn. Thank you for being here. So books, podcasts, learning, it is, if it's going to be, it's up to me type of mindset, constant decision making. And I'm going to hand you one like last curveball, or one thing that I do to maintain my weight. You know, I used to set myself up for a cheat day, cheat meals, you know, things like that. And I guess I still do. But for the most part, you guys, my diet, which is just what you eat, My diet is pretty much the same. I love it. I do not feel deprived. I have found meals and recipes, restaurants that I can go and eat and maintain or lose weight if I so chose to. Dieting and what I eat is pretty much figured out for me. What is not figured out for me is celebrating and birthdays and trips, because that's different than my regular routine. And in those days, I want to cheat or treat myself or indulge or whatever you're going to say, do what the other people are doing type of thing. But guys, when you get to your weight loss goal, you can't just start celebrating and going out with all your friends weekend after weekend on Wednesday happy hour, Saturday night again, week after week after week after week. Because guess what? That was the habit that had you in trouble. So you still want to go out with your friends and you still want to do the birthdays and you still want to have a Friday night, but it has to look different. That is the real reality. It has to look different. So I always tell my friends, my clients, anybody, either decide that you're going to stick to your plan 100% as you go to the birthday party. Like, no, I'm sticking to it. Or give yourself a 50-50. No, I want grandma's cake, but I'm gonna eat my regular meals. Cool. Or just go ham and like just toss the day out the door. Like it doesn't matter, but you have to come back, and you can't do that too many times in a row, in a month. You can't. So I used to go out and cheat and indulge in eating all the things. And what I found was that wasn't serving me, because I luckily have a lot of friends and love to go out and do things. So I'm out all the time. So if I just started to do all the BLTs, bites, licks, and tastes over and over again, it was getting me in trouble. So what I've started doing is I take my own peanut butter cups. I take my own cookies. I take my own chips. On the days that I want to cheat. But they're Quest chips, they're Quest cookies, they're Quest peanut butter cups. These are still high protein, low carb, low fat. You guys, in my opinion, number one, they're delicious. But number two, the Lay's potato chips that are on the shelf are poison. They are addictive. They cause inflammation, they cause brain fog. So I know that it's so hard because we've been taught, we've learned, and we've been conditioned to think that Lay's potato chips are part of, a party atmosphere and everyone is doing it. And I'm not asking you to never have them again, because you will, but I'm also asking you to consider what's in them. Are they really good for you? Do you really want that? You guys, I'm Hispanic. I had to learn that I don't want corn tortillas on my tacos. I don't ever. Corn is not good for me. But that took funerals. That took, a lot of decision making. So I share with you to say now my cheat and whatnot is still something in the healthy regimen, but just off my normal regimen. And if I am going to go to the bakery and have the bundt cake or the whiskey and waffles, that's pretty much once or twice a month at max, one meal, maybe half a day. It sets me back too far. And that's the new structure. And that's just how I live. Going back to the beginning of this topic, it's not a diet. That's just what you eat. It's a lifestyle. So we love you so much. I thought this was a great topic. We had great speakers today. I know we went a little bit over, but hopefully you got some value from this and understanding that sleep is important to your decision making and to your hormones. Movement is important, and you will figure it out. You will find a sport you like, an activity you like, and you will figure out the reason why you like it. I promise, but you gotta start. And if you can't figure out to start, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 yourself and get out the door. And you'll figure it out. And if you're going to give yourself a cheat, give yourself some parameters to do that in and win your weekend. Because you're amazing and you can do that. and we're going to do it together. We love you guys so much. If this was helpful, we will put this in our group Mindset Mastermind. Tag your friends, share it with somebody. Thank you to our amazing speakers. Sorry, our slides are slippery in this slope of technology. If you guys don't know Jocelyn Pryor, you need to know her. Okay. I love you guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for hopping on.